Call Speed City. I mean, we're here making history. We're doing things that haven't been done in years. That's exactly what this team is all about. We're about making history.
Brian, he looks sharp. Mentally he's definitely prepared and physically definitely very prepared. So, I feel good. I think at this point in the year, for him, he understands just, enjoy this experience, get here, compete, and how it sets him up for the future, I think is pretty cool. But the fact that he's at this point right now is a really good thing. So.
That's in the top 12 places from the finals to the championship meet in Eugene, Oregon. From Wisconsin, from Arizona, John Murphy, Ruben Mays for the Arkansas Razorbacks. Jared Freed of Air Force, on for San Jose State. Brian Dano, Carter Hughes of Minnesota. For South Dakota, Stan Slavis, and Caleb.
So I just have my international athletes training here. So people that have trained here is like Olympic champion, Olympic bronze medalist, some really good athletes. So we got access to this field all the time, so it's nice. Come on now.
School. That's number one. So I'm taking hard classes. I'm a STEM major, and going into this season, I had a lot of trouble with my professors understanding my format and what days I'm gonna miss, this and that. He wasn't really very fond of me being in sports. Because he knew that going into the class, it was a big time commitment, and he was persuading me not to continue with sports and all that stuff. But, I had to make sacrifices.
It's like you're just spinning the wheels, right? You need to get it in gear and drive it. Right side. Entry is much better. It's coming up, so.
I had to sacrifice practice to go to office hours. I was there twice a week, missing Tuesday, Thursday practices. And that was one of the most difficult things. And while you're doing that in season, I have no time for anything. So on my free time, I would study. And I think the hardest part too was just trying to keep a good balance between the two. Eating, lifting, training, school, class, all that shit. Well, it was just hard. But we're at the end of the season, so I was able to do it.
Because for Brian, going out to regionals, it's all about you have to throw strong and hard, and it's difficult to make it. So you just gotta make sure you throw your best, and hopefully everybody else is gonna be difficult situations. So, but this is kind of like a learning experience for him for next.
I did it. I know it's there. I can throw far. I'm just trying to get a PR. That's it. There's no mark that I'm looking for. It's just something that's better than last week's mark. That's it.
1:45, you said, flight. Yeah, it's plenty of time. You leave the campus at 11. You get to the airport,
12.
what, at the latest?
57:40.
Darryl, you're up.
184 inches.
Mr. Hughes up, Mr. Slogas on deck, Mr. Sackmeyer
I
on
like it.
board.
Come on, Hollywood.
Mr. Hooper up.
And one for San Jose State, Brian
Hughes up,
Cordero.
Mr. Slogas on deck. On hold. Sackmeyer up.
Way to compete.
Heck yeah.
Way to compete.
Fuck yeah.
Tor said he's very proud of you. Good job. Call him whenever you can.
You said good job.
Yeah.
That's a lot coming from him.
I think Brian did a fantastic job. I think at this meet, it's hard to get here and PR and throw a lifetime or jump a lifetime best. And for him to show up and throw a lifetime best just really is a testament to the fact that he knows how to compete. Brian has always competed at a high level, so it's like if the level goes up, Brian's gonna show up and do a little bit more. So very proud of how he had a showing today. He outperformed his ranking coming in, and at the end of the day, if a kid PRs at this meet, you can't ask him for anything else. You know what I mean? So let the chips fall where they may, and we'll see what happens with the rest of the competition.
I'm Dr. Marco Belizaire. I'm a sports chiropractor, but I like to call myself more of a performance specialist, simply because what we have to understand is from a performance standpoint, what these guys are doing here on a daily basis is they're putting their body at a higher level of stress. So we like to call them, they're Ferraris. Okay, so a Ferrari is not going to show up to Indy 500 without fine-tuning that vehicle. Okay, so because of the sheer level of stress that they put on their bodies on a daily basis, you can't expect to beat the body up and not give it the proper tools for it to be able to recover. Okay, so from a chiropractic standpoint, I'm looking for imbalances. Okay, or not so much the imbalances, but neurological deficits that are not allowing the body to perform at its best.
7-step in terms of frequency, it's like the first couple of steps are like huge.
They gotta be.
Trying to create power.
I mean, you just gotta get to the fucking hurdle. I mean, half of the people that are 7-steppers shouldn't even be 7-steppers.
Because they're not naturally fast enough.
They're not powerful enough, they're not tall enough, they're not fast enough.
Right.
Like if it's a reach,
They might.
why do it? But it's a fad right now, so everybody's trying to do
We
this
got to
shit.
do it because they're looking at it like we got to do that to compete instead
Right.
of
You could just sharpen the 8 and speed it up.
I ain't even gonna say it to you because you gonna throw it in my face.
What the?
I am really freaking short.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Shut
yeah,
up.
yeah. I mean, it's just.
No, it's like because there's a couple of people I look at and I'm like, it's a jumper. You know what I mean? Like, they walk by, I'm like, God dang.
Yeah, it's all right. It's okay. You got other skills.
Had to address.
Oh,
We've
sorry.
had to deal with some lateral hip stabilizers. We had to activate those muscles. We had to activate some psoas muscle, which is the major hip flexor. And that's typically his trail leg. The right leg is his trail leg. So all of these issues that have been happening there, he's just learned how to compensate, and he's still been performing with these issues, but we've been able to kind of address a little something here, address a little something here, correct something here, traction here, kind of give him the opportunity to be able to go out there, okay? But that is something that requires a lot of ongoing work. When we get here, we have to be wise in regards to, we can't do too much because we could overwhelm the body, and now all of a sudden his body's like, oh, I'm not ready to run. I'm here in that healing and repair mode. So if I do too much, I could hamper him. So I have to be very wise in regards to my evaluation. It says, okay, we're gonna do here and here, and that's it. Let the body work with this. Okay, tomorrow we're gonna do this. Then we said, no, we're not gonna do any activation. We're gonna do some soft tissue work, okay? And in all of this that I'm doing, I'm still adjusting these areas because the adjustment is going to take that stress off of that nervous system so these muscles can have a better firing pattern. This is what Mekhi, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Execute all the way through the line. We'll see where it's at. Let's go.
Yeah, so if he comes, I'll bring him out, but we're not waiting.
Sounds good. All right.
And Bill Plemonius in lane number 7 for the Razorbacks takes a ball there. And Baylor's Elijah Morris, Joseph Anderson of Long Beach State. Freedom Iowa, they started out at 1371.
In the running events, the automatic qualifiers are the top 3 in each heat. Harrison was not top 3 in this heat, he was 5th. So after all the heats are done, after all the top 3s, they get 6 people added to qualify based on time. He is currently number 3 in that line of 6. So every heat that goes on, you gotta watch the 4th place time. So right here in this heat, 4th place was faster than him. So he was in the number 2 position, now he's in number 3. So he's got to survive the next 3 heats on time. So he's number 4 now. You know he's from the Bay, right? Well, Stockton. Mekhi qualified because he is the 5th fastest time after the automatic qualifiers. So you got to be top 6. He's number 5. He finishes 23rd overall in the prelim round and advances to the quarterfinal.
Have to go in to the blue sign.
Oh, all right.
Okay. It's right after the 15th. Good day.
I hear you.
Many of them are here. No, I mean, they coach on other programs. Carl coaches at the University of Houston. Carmelita Jeter coaches at USC. Bernard Legat coaches at Arizona. Coaching's a natural next step for a lot of folks, especially that first one. You can't clip the first one, dog. You can't do it. Yeah, because you backed off. You just gotta fucking go. So this is 2 days from now, it's real simple. You are talented enough to make those errors and get through. That won't happen twice. You gotta be clean, all right? But you can be clean. If you're clean, you get second place in that race and you're in the top half of the qualifications easy. Mekhi did a great job of surviving the prelims and advancing on to the quarterfinal round. He ran almost his lifetime best. His lifetime best is 13.9. He ran 13.91. So in that regard, you got to be proud of that and take it. He made a lot of errors in the race. He hit about 5 hurdles. He is better than 13.9, and he'll have to be better than that in 2 days if he wants to move on to the semifinals. Tomorrow opens the the show for the ladies. Micaiah Lee goes off first in the long jump. She has to be top 12 overall in the competition to advance. And then Sydney is in the 400 meters, and Gabby is in the 200 meters. The ladies running events function exactly the same way as Harrison's did today. So they'll have to be top 3 in their heat or have one of the top 6 overall next best times.
Preparation is, for these athletes, probably more mental than physical. Just getting them mentally prepared to understand and handle the expectation, because that's the biggest thing with collegiate level athletes. Once you're able to change the expectations that they have for themselves and just the overall expectation, then you get to high levels of performance. So, again, we inherited this group of athletes, and so it's just a matter of, like, through the process of training and all the different things that we try to implement, making sure that they understand what the expectation is, and it's much higher than they've ever been used to.
The heel's gonna be just fine by the time we get to jump time. I promise you it will.
Coach.
You can't go, oh, let me do something that I haven't done all season. Let's go do that.
I can do it. Well, my hamstring has been tight, but like that, it is what it is. I've just been taking care of them, getting them rubbed out by Miss Rachel. Shout out to Mr. Rachel. And yeah, my heel injury, which I hurt at the Long Beach meet, that I thought that was just gonna be like a 1 or 2 week thing, but it's kept going on. So I gotta do what I gotta do. I don't got nothing to lose. Coach, I'm Camoning. I'm Camoning. This is me Camoning.
Both you guys. Stop. Both you ladies.
Like, I'm telling you, it's a poor decision. That's why I'm saying we don't just get to the week before the biggest meet you've ever been to and go, let's switch feet.
She's long, she's talented, so that's a good thing. In Micaiah's case, being here at this point in time, she came into school during the COVID years. So, looking at her collegiate personal best from when we got here as a staff, she's definitely outworked that, and now is kind of hovering in a space, and she's ready to take off. But I think the biggest thing in her progression is I wouldn't say being forced, but being mandated to do things in a certain fashion. Personality-wise, she's I want to do what I want to do kind of person. So I think that's still an ongoing process. But so far, when she's operated and done the little things really well, she's had success. She's feeling pretty good. As far as preparation, just at this point in the year, just making sure that we're fresh and ready to go. So all the work has been done. So now it's just a matter of getting here and executing and putting the things together that we've been working on. Look, you have to get your feet all the way through and keep your shoulders moving. Right now, you're just dropping your feet out and just kind of falling out of it. Does that make sense? One more time.
Yes, but can I get an example?
An example, you keep doing this. Stop throwing your chest forward. Rotate your knees to your chest so your feet can get through. Show the bottoms of your feet to that building. But there's still 2 more flights to go and they're seated. Yeah, 1.
I would say it's finals week, so it's been a bit stressful trying to combine both studying and practicing. It's been going well, but it's a lot of time management. I've also struggled still with my back. It's been going on for a long time now, but hopefully we get it sorted. When I started this season, obviously my goal was to qualify, but I didn't think that I could. But now that I'm here, I think that I'm gonna do my best. I really want to qualify for nationals and move one step closer to my end goal, which is to perform really well there. So right now I'm just focused on what I have to do, and I know that I have the capacity to do it if I do it well.
I think the biggest thing is at this point in the year is to just, for her to execute. So I think the way that she feels right now is pretty good. Her warm-up, she looks sharp. She's moving in a way that tells me that she's sharp. She's taken into consideration a lot of the things that we worked on. So a conversation that we had on the way to check-in was, she was like, I'll be happy as long as I do my best. And I said, well, just so you know, your best is better than a lot of other people's best. So she understands that that's the expectation, and that's the mentality. And I think that whenever she's in that kind of mind frame, she's not limited by, a certain mark or whatever, but just going and executing and letting that taking care of itself.
Here we go, Amelia!
What was the win on that? Yeah, I would have gone too bad.
Oh, no! Amelia, what the fuck?
Hey, that run is it. That run is it. You're on top of it. You got it. Okay. Hey, stay long. Okay. Feet flat, right up under you. Boom, and keep pushing up. Okay. You got to attack the ground. Yes, your money on the board. You got to attack the ground. Okay. Keep your arms swinging. All right. Hey, here it is. I think she twisted a little bit, but you can't. You got to fight through those. I'm like, that's the run. She was like, was I on the board? I'm like, you have to run just like that.
Perfect. Amelia's performance.
Overall, very disappointed. She's very disappointed in herself, but that's just her being a very competitive person. So I think that if she didn't feel that way, I would think something's wrong, because that's how I've gotten to know her. Youngster, she's 19, got to learn those hard lessons, and if she does the things that she knows that she's got to do, then she'll bounce back and she'll be in a situation to where she'll position herself to have a better chance to get out the next time. So today's a rough day for her in that regard. She's pretty disappointed, but the fact that she's a freshman, if she wasn't disappointed, it'd be a little odd. I did, it was huge. This regional meet be like that.
Yeah, no, for sure.
My stomach hurts. But what year are you?
Sophomore.
So the thing that I'll tell you is distance yourself away from feeling the way you feel.
Yeah.
Because you're better than a lot of these girls, right? So just keep trusting your coach, trust yourself, and things will come together, because you're gonna jump huge.
Thank you.
All right?
I'll see you next season.
For sure.
Did you guys see the girl run 1080 on 100?
Yeah.
No matter what you do, you got to fight through that shit and finish that fucking jump. Because psychologically, if you finish that jump, at that point in the competition, you would have been in the top 12. And then your brain is like, okay, I'm all right, now I got to go do something. Versus I'm 0-0, and now I got to put a jump together in the third. You will not be ignorant next year, you understand?
So working into something like a conference meet or the national meet is all about like refining details, figuring out, perfecting your block start, your drive phase, the transition, all of those things. So it's just perfecting, then perfecting for the longer sprinters, the race strategy, hitting certain points at certain times and certain efforts to end up to be set up for a finish that's going to help them lifetime PR. So a lot of those little pieces and small details is what's going on. It's not as much about training right now as it is about perfecting what you have been working on all year. I always think that in these situations, one of the challenges is your team just shrinks. And it's not a numbers coaching issue, it's a environment issue. Less people sometimes creates less enthusiasm. Now, the flip, it can create more focus sometimes, but it's just weird to not have your teammates around. So I think that's it, and then still just our travel through traffic, getting to this off-site track. It's a little bit harder than what some people have to deal with, but we've dealt with it well all year, and we still are, and we'll be ready.
Coach, what's crazy though is this whole year, I didn't realize that our workouts were actually preparing us for the 400. I thought he was just making us run fast. I thought she was just making us run fast just to run fast, but I didn't know that's actually how you're supposed to run it in a race. I didn't realize that till like a month ago.
You should stop right now.
I can't, I'm actually, all my emotions are just, on fire.
I just thought she was just making us run fast.
What's crazy is I actually explained it numerous times.
I know, and I know you did. No, I just didn't think it was that bad. For round 2, did they take the top 18 times? Is it the winner of each heat, or plus the next fastest times, or do you know?
You see that I'm number 16 now?
No, I did not. Number 16. You're all the way up to 16.
And what? 200? That's tough.
I think I'll just tell all of you guys, typically when you go to things like this,
They don't really matter.
there's a third of the field that's just happy to be there. They're done. They're
They
so
can't beat
happy. I'm telling you this on purpose. Then there's a third that's there for real, and they're trying to PR and they're trying to get to the next round. And then there's this middle group. They're okay. They're super excited. They're okay if they don't advance, but they kind of do want to advance. And you guys got to make sure, one, that you sure as fuck are not in that bottom group. It's just I made it.
I made it.
And
Honestly,
you
that's
have
how
to
it
go
was the
there
first
to at least match what you've already done with the true goal of being better, because that's what helps you advance.
Jonte Newton of Arkansas. Coming in lane number 5. Pac-12 400 meter runner up, 200 meter bronze medalist, Pac-12 400 hurdle silver medal from UCLA. To an end there with a win there in lane number 7, Gina Robinson Jones. She goes a 51.54.
Good season. Okay. You should be proud of the accomplishment of getting here. Okay. And remind me, you received what in this competition? 32. Finished 40th. Okay. Now, what's the answer to this question? Every race you've run that hasn't gone the way it needed to go, what's been the answer? That's right. 25-6. So, if we ran, I don't know how many of those we run this year, let's just call it 10. You run 10 400s in a season, and you get it right 1 out of 10. What's most likely going to happen out here? You're going to revert back to what you always do. That's what athletes do. You hope that they learn the lesson and remember it and go back out there and do it, but you didn't. So, you're in 25-6 for the first deuce. Dead last at 300. You competed through the finish line like you didn't try, right? But you didn't set yourself up for success. And that's a lesson that as a sophomore, I want you to swallow and remember. So next year when you're back at this competition.
I did.
But you have to go to the
Well, it's finals week, so I feel like I've been very stressed out with being able to meet my deadlines and be able to practice on an elite level and to execute my races as I plan to do. I feel like if I come in there and thinking that, oh, I'm just here just to be here because I made it, then I'm not going to do as well. I'm not going to move on. So my thing is to come in fearless, execute my races, not be afraid to know that I am at this next level now and I can compete at this next level and level up as long as I just know to believe in myself, believe in my workouts, and just continue to go hard at it.
Layla Owens of Texas A&M, she was fourth in the SEC. She did 22:57. Amon Brown of Oregon, Pac-12 fourth place in Memphis, 23:08. She ran in San Diego at 22:92 at the Aztec Invitational. This is Amon Brown of Oregon.
Overall today it was a lack of execution by all three. On one hand, you have to be extremely proud of their evolution as athletes and getting themselves to this meet, which we all are. But in the moment, lack of execution. Sid didn't go out hard enough in her 400, which cost her an opportunity to be in a competitive situation at the end of the race. Gabby didn't execute her start or her turn, which cost her an opportunity to be at the end of the race. And Micaiah was just having some learning pains, some growth lessons out there on the long jump runway. So overall, they made it to the show. They will be better for, the lessons that they learned this week, and will come back next year in a better version of what they were today.
Hey, good job. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's 3 years.
Execute. Do your thing.
Oregon. NCAA lead time of 13:10. That's Trey Cunningham of Florida State. That's the number 2 time in the world. The fastest time in the world this season, 13:09. Has a test. 1, 2, test. 1, 2. Got it, Joe. USC, the Pac-12 Conference Championship runner-up, Agora in 5, Jamal Marshall, and Florida State in 6.
on literally half the work that everybody you're racing has. Half the work and you're a little banged up. Next year, this shit is yours. Tell me what the fucking grades is.
In lane number 8, it'll be Garrett Gibson of Houston Baptist. And lane 9, a favorite freshman, Johnny Brackett.
Okay, well, hell, that's workable. All right, bro, that phenomenal job. Phenomenal job, G. For real. I know you pissed and you have a right to be because you had that motherfucker.
Man.
From over here, I can't see what it was, but when you see the replay, like, bro, you were winning the shit at 6 and then you just lost momentum at 7 doing something. Did you crash?
I definitely didn't crash. I think.
Like, when I say crash, like, did you? No? Fuck. I don't know. Like, bro, I was like, yo, he got that shit. Great job, bro. I'm proud of you. First and foremost, if you go back to the beginning of the year, look at the roster and look at everybody's best lifetime performances on paper, nobody's supposed to be here. So the fact that we are here, 6 deep, 4 women, 2 men, I'm proud of every single one of them for getting themselves to this point. They all had to evolve as athletes to get themselves to this place. As far as what they did when they got here, they got baptized a little bit, and that's the game. That's what this level is about. Our sport has various points of evolution to it. It's easy enough to be on a college track team, but you have to be able to get to and perform well at your conference championships. Then you have to be able to qualify for this level, which is round 1 and 2 of the NCAA championships. Today we have athletes on our team capable of being at round 1, and in Harrison's case, capable of getting to round 2. But that's not our standard. Our standard is to get to the end, to get to the championship, to be in the finals, to be All-Americans, to compete and score points at the national championship finals. So we're a long way from where we want to go, and the 6 people that got themselves here and got to experience that firsthand have learned an invaluable lesson that they can take back to the team and hopefully be leaders for the team that's coming through next year. Because we got a lot of freshmen, we got a lot of babies, we got a lot of transfers. And all of these people now understand what it is to compete at this level. None of them at the beginning of the year saw themselves at this level, even though we did. So they now know the difference, they now know what it takes, and they will hopefully arrive in the fall focused on that mission with an understanding of being baseline isn't good enough. So I expect the freshmen to come in here with the expectations of taking people's spots, knocking people's heads off. You can't be the best in the country if you're not first the best on your team. So the freshmen that are coming in here are highly competitive people, and they're coming in here to take their seats at the table. The older people, the vets, if you will, have never seen a class of talent like they're gonna see in the fall, and they're gonna have to continue to elevate themselves to stay relevant within the team and to get back here and be relevant within the NCAA structure. So everything's just gonna be elevated next year moving forward, and I can't be more excited about getting back here for the fall.
No pausing, Greta. Get into it, get back to the ground. Feel a slight difference there. It's getting better and better. I like the intensity. Just keep staying square. You don't need to lean across. Square and pick up, square and pick up. That really fucking bothers me.
Yeah.
Well, you know what that means. I have to sit it down. We ain't trying to get hurt out here. We got too many big things coming. Talk to Coach Ryan. Where we are is well beyond last year. We're in a different space, double the size team, higher levels of talent. The people that are returning, they are much improved, much tougher, much more intelligent about the sport. So, and we're at a new space at the ends of college. Nicer facility, more resources here in terms of hurdles, blocks, plyo boxes, all those types of things. So now we're at this, because of that, now we are at this inter-squad meet, able to have our own little competition, and we're ready to do big things. So that's where we are right now. So now you've finished
hurdle drills. Now I want you to get into some sprint specific stuff. We ended off with some starts to hurdles. Okay, so right now you have, what about right around 20-ish minutes, just straight up sprint power
We
stuff.
have divided the teams into 3 teams, Team Black, Team Blue, and Team Gold. I am the head of Team Black. Ernie Clark is the head of Team Blue. TJ Harris is the head of Team Gold. We fantasy drafted the entire roster. We're running half of what would be considered alternative events, half the sprints, half the jumps, half the throws, half the distances. The meet is scored. First 3 places in every event get a 5, a 3, and a 1. And at the end of the day, we're going to crown a champion for the fall. It's meant to be fun. It's meant to be competitive. And given how new the team is and how many fresh faces we have around here, we need to get a sense of who knows how to compete and who rises and shrinks under pressure. So it's a great day. We're going to do this annually, every year. This will be the first one, and we're going to learn a lot about our new team. Your blocks, we have to shoot the gun on time. Set your blocks right now. Mr. Harrison. Makai Harrison. Come set your blocks. He's out. All right. Overstreet is out.
Yeah, high five.
Okay, so that's not gonna help. Get up. Come on, get up. Get up. Go put your pants on, spikes off, and walk around. Nice job, baby. Nice job. Hey, nice job. Nice job.
Who else just pulled up too? What's up, sir? So what are you running, Harry? 6.
Basically. Doing well, man. Y'all just out here watching? One motherfucking day, y'all motherfucking. Man, 600 meters, make your way to the start.
Stay big! Stay big! Stay big!
They're both gonna clear this, aren't they?
So.
Well, all right. If they do, listen. If they do, what's yeah? Fuck that. If they clear this, put it at 170 and let's get it. All right. Okay. So ignore them. Lean into the attention because you never get it. Lean into the attention and give me my fucking run. Power in the back, cover your space, hit at number 3. If you hit number 3, this is a bullshit bar. You can jump way higher than this.
You already have it.
Right. This is way higher than this. Focus. I brought them down here to distract them. Focus. Because you have to focus. Let's go.
The better you get.
Set. Spencer 3, Anaya Weiss 4, River 6, Hughes 7. Fantastic job, lady. Hey, come here, man. Great job. Gentlemen, to your mark. Set. Charmaine standing here.
Didn't I tell you?
Oh,
Sweet. Come on, damn. Okay,
Roman Johnson first, Cam Tarver second, Brooks. Brooks in third. Brooks in third.
7 seconds, and you want to call Roy name out, nigga? You beefing with Shelly Ann.
Mr. Higgins, you didn't run. You gotta be quiet.
Hey.
You didn't run. You gotta be quiet.
My name was in his mouth though, coach.
Hey,
He
you
ran
didn't
7
run.
seconds. He
You
beefing with
didn't run.
Hey, you got last.
You got last, bro.
7 seconds.
Until you race.
7 seconds.
You run the 150.
7 seconds.
You win the 150.
7 seconds.
You didn't get any points.
Boy, you beefing with the females.
You didn't get any points.
You should have been yelling out Shelly Ann's name. You should have been yelling out Elane's name.
I think our sport teaches how to be resilient through adversity, period. I would hope that as coaches, what ultimately we're trying to do, we want fast marks, we want, big throws, far jumps, we want all of that. But ultimately what we're trying to do with this program is build these people and evolve them as adults, as the better versions of themselves that they're gonna be able to take back to their families and serve their community with moving forward. So adversity is a part of life, and our sport, there is no more sport that is more cutthroat than athletics, than track and field. You have people in this building that did 11 months of work only to miss going on to the next level by 0.01 seconds, or by one spot, or by a millimeter scratch in a jump. So this sport, by definition, is built on the foundation of adversity and pushing through and learning how to, pick yourself up and move forward. So definitely, within this program, we have a lot of challenges. But as I told you at the beginning of this process, the challenges that we have in this program are never going to be an impediment to this program's future. And so I think we've proven that this year. 40 plus PRs, 6, 7 school records, 6 people qualified to the show. Moving forward, whatever obstacles our team, has to deal with, we're always going to, get past those hurdles, pun intended, and continue to evolve the young men and young women in this program.